everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about the easiest pathway to migrate to Canada in this year 2025. So if you are willing to migrate to Canada, you have been looking for how to migrate to Canada, but all the options that you have, they are so difficult or they are taking too much time, this is an easiest way, this is an easiest route to migrate to Canada. Just like the way the United States, United States of America has different English schools, English classes that you can gain admission to and go and study English. The Canada they also have English programs that you can get admission into when you apply and you move into Canada through their English programs. You know, Canada, they have a lot of universities, they have a lot of schools, universities that people tend to they apply, they get admission and they move in, but a lot of them you will need to write the English test exam like the IELTS exam so that you can gain admission into these schools and move to Canada. But I'm going to be sharing with you about English schools. So these English schools, you don't need to evaluate your certificate, you don't need to write the English test, you don't need to do much, you don't need much proof of fund for you to move, because it's just an English school where their fees are very small, like $200 every week or every month, or $250 or $300 depending on the school. These schools are cheap and they are easy, and also they give admission within 2 to 3 days, and they don't need to wait for session by session before they take in students. And most of these English schools, they take in international students, and they don't need to wait session by session before they can take in students, because they have to start new session like every month. Some of them they start every week. So they have different schools in Canada. I'm going to be sharing the link of these schools in the description down below so that you can click on the link and apply if you're interested in moving to Canada through this route. So as I was saying, these English schools, they have a lot of them in Canada, and these English schools they take in international students. So you are going there to study English. You might study English for 3 weeks. You might decide to stay there for 3 months. You might decide to even stay there and study English for 1 year, and from there you can decide to get admission into the regular university after you finish your English classes. You can even decide to go there and do the IELTS English classes before you write your English test exam, and then get admission into the university there in Canada. So they are quite easy and affordable. So, but another thing is that accommodation. If you have people that are staying in Canada already, it will be easier for you because you will just stay with the people that you know in Canada for accommodation. But if you don't have these English schools, they also provide accommodation for their students, but you are going to be paying a fee if you want to stay in their accommodation. Just as you are going to be paying for the classes, then you also pay for your accommodation. So it is quite cheap and easy. So as I was saying concerning the apartment, if you have somebody in Canada that is close to your English school center, it will be very easy for you to just stay with that person to help you to cut cost. So that's another thing about but most of the English schools, most of the English classes, they usually have accommodation. They have like hostels for their students, and the prices are usually affordable. But if you have someone that you can stay with, like a family member or a friend, that will still be easier and better. These schools, this application, they are into two parts. So the first one is the normal, ordinary English schools. These English schools, they are not the designated English schools in Canada. They are just English schools that you can study English at. But the only thing about them is that once you apply and they give you admission, you can apply for a visitor visa to go and study English in these schools. That is the first part. So, and since your classes, the classes can be a 3 months English course, 2 months English course, 1 month English course, or 5 months English course, depending, or 3 weeks English course. But their fees are usually cheap, like $200 Canadian dollars a month or a week, $100 Canadian dollars, $250 Canadian dollars. Usually not more than $250 Canadian dollars, and you can pay every month or every week. So these schools, they are cheap and they are easy to get admission into, and they are easy to make it very easier for you to visit Canada or migrate to Canada or do one or two things in Canada. So the ordinary schools that I was talking about, once you get an admission, you'll be required to pay like for a week course, or pay for a month to show your commitment before they can send admission letter for you to process your visa. Okay, so this will be good for those of you that really want to go and visit Canada, but you don't have someone to invite you, don't have anyone to invite you, and you don't have a conference to attend in Canada. You can use these ordinary English schools to just go to Canada. Once you pay for a week or 2 weeks program, they will send you an admission letter. So your admission letter will serve like an invitation for you to enter Canada. It's like a reason. Now you have a reason. Now you have something you are going to Canada to do. Now you can prove to the Canadian government that, okay, I'm coming to Canada to come and study English for 2 weeks or for 3 weeks or for 1 month or for 2 months or for 3 months. So with this kind of category, you can use the visitor visa. You can apply for a visitor visa. You attach your admission letter to the school that you are actually going to that school to study English, and it will help you because since the school is in Canada, you'll be around Canadian students and Canadian people, and it will be easier for you to learn the English faster and easier. So you will also write it in your explanation letter that once you are applying for your tourist visa to go to Canada. That's number one category of how we can go through these English schools to Canada easily. Within 2 weeks, within 1 month, you're already in Canada. Because these English schools, they give admission within 2 to 3 days. Once you apply, once you pay for your application fees, and you pay for like a week tuition, just a week tuition. Once you pay for a week tuition or 2 weeks tuition, they will send you admission letter, and you can use that to process your visa. So now, since you'll be going to be using a tourist visa for this category, the processing of that tourist visa now depends on your country of nationality. Like for some countries, it can take up to 6 months, they can take up to 4 months. Some countries, the tourist visa processing can take up to 3 months. Some countries can take up to 2 months. So now it depends on your country. Because for tourist visa, at times it takes a longer period of time before you can get approval, or before they can get back to you if they have issued you the visa or not. So I'm going to be dropping the link of these schools in the description box below so that you can apply, you can make your choice. Now the second category is the designated English schools in Canada. Just like we have the designated universities in Canada, colleges, universities in Canada, they also have designated English schools in Canada. These English schools, they are the approved English schools, just like they have the approved universities in Canada, where you can apply for any course, and where they have been given that approval for them to bring in international students from all around the world. So also there are English schools like that in Canada that they have been given that approval by the government to bring in. So as I was saying, second category, the designated English schools in Canada. These designated English schools in Canada, they have been given that approval, that license by the government for them to bring in international students from all around the world. But they are just English schools. They are not universities or colleges. They are just English schools where you can just go and study English. And usually you can study English there for 3 months, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year. They can even tutor you and train you so that you'll be able to write your English test exam for you to gain admission into the normal universities or colleges. So this English school, you apply just like the normal one. You apply. I'm going to be dropping their link below in the description box below. So you will apply, you will pay for the application fees. Once you pay for the application fees, they also require you to pay like for a week or for 1 month course, depending on how many months you like to study in the school. So once you pay to just show your commitment, they will send you the admission letter. Once they send you the admission letter, you can go ahead and use your admission letter to process your student visa. This one is very easy and very fast, because applying for a student visa, it doesn't matter your country of residence or your country of nationality. Applying for a student visa to Canada is very fast and easy. The application process, the processing time is usually not usually more than 2 weeks. Is 2 weeks to 3 weeks. You are done. 2 weeks to 3 weeks, you are done. So why this idea of migrating to Canada in just 2 weeks through these English schools? Why this idea is a great idea is because you don't need much document, you don't need too much money in your proof of funds. If you are using the tourist visa process for the first category that I talked about, that one you don't need much fund in your account for the proof of funds. And for this second category as well, you don't need much money in your account for proof of funds, since you are just going to be studying English in Canada for a few months. So it's quite easy. It's very easy, fast and straightforward. Another thing is that you don't need much documentation. You don't need to go to your high school or your university to go and get your transcripts. You don't need to evaluate your documents. You don't need to start writing IELTS exams. You don't need to start doing all those long processes, because you are actually going to Canada to study the English. So you are just going there to study English. So you just apply to the English school, get the admission letter, and apply for your tourist visa and apply for the student visa. So this is why it is so easy, straightforward and direct. You don't need thousands of Canadian dollars in your account for you to get the visa to go to these English schools to study English. So if you are interested in this pathway to go to Canada, ensure you apply whichever one that you are interested in. If it is the tourist visa, category, or if you want to go to, if you prefer to go to the designated English schools, then fine. Just make your choice, apply, get your admission, and apply for the tourist for your visa, either the tourist visa or the student visa. So when you get to Canada, look out for you can look out for other opportunities. You can decide to just try and get admission into the regular universities or college, or you can try and look for scholarship in this university. Now you are already in Canada, it is easier for you to walk into a college or a university and make a query about their admission process or their whatever scholarship they have available for international students. You already be in Canada by then, so it will be easier for you to look out for other options if you desire to remain in Canada. Except you want to go back to your country, fine. But if you desire to remain in Canada before the end of your program in the English school, just look out for other opportunities. You can even decide to volunteer in an organization. By volunteering, from there you gain experience, and from there you can get a better job where they decide to keep you in the company. Or you can look for you will be able to get a company that will hire you, so you'll be able to get your work visa or work permit. So just look, there are different opportunities. There are a whole lot of opportunities in Canada that you can take part of, or that you can enjoy. So before the end of your program, so like the second pathway, the second category that I talked about, that's through the student permits for the designated English schools. So if you are able to get your admission and then you apply for your visa and you get your student permit, if you are able to get admission before the end of your English program into the university or a college, you'll be able to extend your student permit, because now you have a proper admission into a proper university. So you just reapply for extension of your student visa, and it will be extended for you. So there are a lot of opportunities, there are a lot of options for you when you get into Canada. Either you can get a job, get admission into the... So just take advantage of the opportunities. If you can get a job, get a job. If it is an admission, get an admission. If you can volunteer in a company, try and do that. So if you are interested in this pathway that I just talked about, migrating to Canada in just 2 weeks, try it out, apply. I'm going to be dropping the link in the description box below. Click on the links and apply. Read about it also. You see the different information on their website. Reach out to the school and also get more information. But the thing is, once you apply, you get admission within 2 to 3 days. It's very easy and fast. So I wish you the best. Don't sleep on it. Endeavor to apply if you are interested. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, share my video with others. Press the notification button if you are yet to. Press the notification button if you are, so that you can get notified when I post a new video. And if you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching my video. See you on my next video. Bye.